Good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I guess it feels like it's been a while, but it's only been a week. So welcome back. It's Tuesday again. This is another weekly whiskey with John and I. And we're joined by Dan K of Dank Syrups. Welcome, Dan. It's great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Your bottle selection back there is pretty impressive. I like the setup.
It goes a little higher too.
I like the torch too.
I was hoping somebody would see that. That's gonna come into play a little bit later.
I
like
use one of those to
going.
cook. Yeah, and my fiance hates it when I pull out the blowtorch for dinner and stuff. But it's great to have you with us. We'll touch on a couple quick things and then we'll dive right in. But Dan is a bartender mixologist from Chicago, which is real close to me here in Wisconsin. We were chatting about brandy old fashions and the right way to make them in the green room because Wisconsin has flair. But we'll dive into some Our Bourbon news real quick. It's been a couple weeks since we've had big news, but that means it's time for it to come to an end. The Penelope Our Bourbon blend has hit CL box. So this week, look for information. We'll give you the blend components. We'll give you the ages. We'll give you the proof. We've got bottle yields, stickers. Everything is down, and we'll be announcing how to buy that this week, going live next week. That's super exciting. And our Russell's pick is being bottled right now. So the Russells, we're working on these stickers as we speak for both of those barrels, and those should be available pretty soon too. So pretty big week for Our Bourbon news. Those are going to be awesome. Michael and Danny of Penelope went down and bottled it and told me it was probably their favorite blend of the year. They said they took a couple bottles for themselves, which is pretty cool.
They notably said that it was better than Breaking the Seal, right?
I won't name which ones they liked it better than, but they were impressed. Danny said he kept sticking his head in the vat, which I thought was a good sign.
Excellent.
I'm super pumped about those. Those were great picks. We did the blending here. John and I and Kogan of LIFO, an accountant with Michael and Danny from Penelope. That was a great time. But yeah, I think that wraps up bourbon news. What do you say? Should we get drinking, guys? We're usually on straight booze, but tonight I think we got some cocktail stuff ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna get weird. We're gonna dank our drank, right?
Glad you're liking that tagline.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was unsure, but I'm glad I got confirmation. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's dank, but I'd hate to lean into that too soon. But yeah, it is indeed dank. So dank cocktails afoot. What did you whip up, John?
I went with a Knob Creek store pick, of course, with the Cracker Jack syrup.
Okay, very nice. I'm Cracker Jack. I rolled with the s'mores and and Old Forester 1920.
See, I was going to go 1910 in there, but I think what I'll do is after I finish this one up is hit the Electric Greg Toasted Barrel for the s'mores.
Okay.
And see what we get with that.
There you go. What are you drinking, Dan?
I went with a fresh crack on the Ancient Age and just the regular. Just wanted to get a little mellow before the flavor profiles start coming in. Didn't want to over syrup my mouth.
Is that the OG?
That's the OG, Grandma's OG.
Right.
Well, that's a good place to just dive right in here. Let's talk about Grandma's OG real quick.
Yeah.
So you guys are the only one that's had that before. So I whipped that up specifically for this podcast. It's just like a traditional Demerara syrup. I like to add a little bit of either brown sugar or just regular old sugar to kind of change the color and the texture and consistency within the drink. And then if you look at it, it's super dark. I already put the bitters in there, so you're good to go. And that's the thing that I really like about these syrups. I like them because I make them, but also
right.
It has everything in it right now. I have it balanced as well. So you can always add a little bit more sugar to it or a little more syrup to it. And it's not going to be overly bitter. You can always add bitters, but you can't take that flavor away from it. So I try to balance it. And that does take a while, balancing a little bit of the bitterness to sugar ratio, especially when it's super hot, because that's how I cook it. And so bottling it's just way different,
Cool
stuff. So we're talking about the one on the furthest to the right there on Whiskey Cam is the OG, and then we've got going to the left there, the s'mores, the apple spice, and then the Cracker Jack.
And it's rocking a sweet QR code. Nice work on these labels, by the way.
Yeah, those are sharp looking.
Thank you. My mom did it. I think she's probably in the YouTube chat. So hi, Mom.
She nailed
hi.
it, man.
Yeah, she did a really good job. It started out with me and another friend just doing the label, and she goes, "I can work with this," and she just took over. So sorry, Jordan. My mom got us beat, both of us.
That's awesome, man. Cool. So tell me more a little about you. I know that the Bourbon Pursuit gang is very familiar with what you do, and we've talked rum in the past, but what brings you to Syrup Land? Like what got this all started?
Well, I bartend, and we make syrups all the time. I don't like using liqueurs for any of my cocktails, really. They have like a medicinal taste to it. You can't really add your own flavors. You're kind of based on what they have. So I like to make my own syrups, no matter what it is. And we were doing, quarantine came up, and a lot of people were saying how they missed having cocktails made for them at the bar. And I was like, I can whip up some syrups and do it for you. And that's kind of how it started. Just me trying to help out some friends that just wanted to go out and hang out. That was it. And then had a bunch of people tell me that it was good and that I need to start a business, and a lot of poking and prodding. And here we are.
Oh, cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I used to spend a lot of time in Chicago. My fiance's family lived just outside of there, and we would love to hit up the bars and stuff in Chicago. So it's kind of cool to bring the spirit of that to home, especially since like I'm the lazy of the lazy. Like if there's not a syrup around, I just don't make cocktails because
I'm not gonna lie. I'm the same exact way. I mean, it's a process to even make the simplest of syrups. So, I think, and plus when you make it, it's easy for me now because I'm making this big old batch and then bottling it up and then getting other people to try it. But I can't do that by myself. I don't need 500 milliliters. I don't need a half a gallon of syrup. It goes bad. And it's in my pans, they're too big to even make like a small batch just for myself.
Okay. So what's like a typical size? Like I know like I've tried a bunch of stuff from like Liber & Co. and Jack Rudy and like Syrup, and I assume that they're using just like gigantic containers. Like what's an average batch size for you? And like, is this like a day project, like an afternoon project, like an evening project?
It depends on the syrup, honestly.
Okay.
The s'mores one I've been doing, because that one you got to smoke the syrup, so that's an all-day process no matter what. And I'm limited to my smoker, which is an egg, which is big, but it's also not that big, so I'm kind of limited on that. Now for the size, the reason I chose the 100 is because you can get 100 milliliters is a perfect pour for the 750s. If you just have a full one of each of them, you can pretty much pour them in, mix them up, and it's good to go. There's a little more sugar to it though, so like it's actually better for a liter, but at the same time, I mean, it's almost perfect for what we buy at liquor stores.
Cool. That's awesome.
Hi, Steph. I got all my friends coming in apparently.
No, bring them in. This is the highlight of my week. Like John and I get weird and we hang out, and it's great to talk to everyone. So
sure, we do get very weird.
The more people in the tub, the better.
Exactly, man. I'm gonna go on mute. Hey, just for a second while I stir this up.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, so in the green room earlier, John was crushing ice and he left his microphone completely on, and like there's a ringing in my like
stabbing ice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he treated that thing like an NFL rep.
I was also swearing. Okay, I wasn't just breaking ice.
I mean, it's funny, yeah, because like we were talking to, I'm in the middle of a move, so I like was fishing ice cubes out of the ice cube tray and like using butter knives and stuff because all of my cocktail stuff's packed up, and like it worked great. Like I took syrup, had the ice, I had the booze, which I found a bucket that wasn't sealed yet, and I like grabbed a couple bottles and like we were off to the races. So I think it really shows that as long as you're interested in trying it out, like this stuff's not hard to turn into a reasonable cocktail for a lazy guy like me. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, this is great for guys like us who don't actually know what we're doing, but we want to drink it.
I mean, that's kind of the thing too. I mean, I have some fancy equipment behind me, but I also borrowed a couple things from work too. You know, like I don't have this really at home. You can make this syrup with a stick and some ice, and you know, it's ready to go essentially. You don't need a fancy bar spoon, you know, if you just keep tasting it. I just wanted it to be as easy as possible, and I'm glad you guys really appreciate that. That's awesome for me.
Another great part of that whole process too is that as you're making these and smoking a whole pile of marshmallows and your green egg, like we get to sort of catch up with you like through your Instagram stories as you're doing these. So like you kind of bring another layer to it where it's like we understand that you're going to make something unique, but then we get to see you make it. And then when we get the final product and we get to pour it into something here and try it out, it's like, holy shit, you know, we're kind of involved with the whole thing. And like you said, this is a way to bring that cool bar experience to folks who can't get out. And you're just killing it with this, man. I love it.
Thank you. The Instagram thing it's hard, actually. I'm not much of a social media guy. So that's actually a really difficult thing for me. So I appreciate you understanding. That's like very difficult for a lot of people, especially when I have my hands full. So I need to have somebody taking pictures, you know?
Yeah.
And it's trying to make me look skinny.
It's funny you mentioned that too, because so when I got started on Instagram like a while ago, and I'm like certainly still a nobody on Instagram, but I was like, you know, I work in software by day. Like if I can work software, like how hard can Instagram be? And then like 30 minutes later, I was like, Instagram's fucking hard. Like Instagram
we have this conversation frequently.
Yeah,
I'll be like asking Jay, like, how do I actually do this on Instagram? And he's like, give me a minute. Let me figure it out and then word it to you in a way that's going to work. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Cause like, I was like, I'm a reasonably smart person or so I tell myself. And then like booting up Instagram, I'm like, how the fuck did people do this? Like, I don't get it at all. So I'm totally with you there, especially like trying to get anything with me in it is just like a non-starter. It just doesn't happen. So
yeah, I mean, I have to thank not only my fiance, but my brother and his wife, and then my soon-to-be sister-in-law as well. It's like I gave them bottles and they've been sending me pictures. So I mean, like, I'm not making all that. There's no way. It's just like some of the stuff they put up is just beautiful, and I'm like, what the hell?
Content can be tough, man. But you know, the branding that you got going is great so far. I would keep running with it just as you are, man. It's all going along great, and the flavors that you're putting together are really something to behold. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, especially where so much of this was kind of like crowdsourced originally, you know, very grassroots, where you sort of, I remember you reaching out and asking folks, what do you guys want? Like, what's a good autumn cocktail? What's a good summer cocktail? What do you think when you think Thanksgiving? And when you start taking the input from the crowd and putting them together into something, it's like wrapping everything up like that just really works out well with making something unique that the crowd is, you know, they're already into from the beginning. So the demand is right there.
And that's something that comes natural with working because, you know, I do love all my guests and everybody that comes in, but there's some people that don't know what the hell they want. And they just say, I don't know, make me something fruity. That's generally what we get. So it's nice when people actually know what they want, but they don't know how to order it or how to make it or anything like that. I can do that. That's an easy part. You tell me how you want something to taste. As long as I have the ingredients, I can make that. Might take me a couple tries, but I can get that done. But it's the people that don't know what they want that kind of make it difficult. So making it more seasonal, I find, is a little more helpful for some people.
Certainly, it's a good business plan too. I mean, it sort of drives people along. Part of the drink and experience wrapped up together is, you know, whether it's the ambiance or the people that you're with, or just, you know, the weather outside. If it's a snowy day or something like that, will sort of dictate what you get into the mood for. So if you could kind of build on that and go through the calendar year with different types of releases, whether or not it's monthly. I mean, like Max mentioned here in the chat, you're getting 30 drinks out of these things. It's effectively like one bar spoon makes your whole cocktail. So there's a ton of bang for your buck in these. And you could go through and really kind of use it as like your own personal cocktail of the month club.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I make everything by hand too, so I'd love to get that price down, but essentially that's kind of where I'm stuck at.
Bring it up. Dirty
Yeah,
drink.
bring
man.
it up.
You could bring that thing north. You're not going to get hurt doing that.
And I understand that, but I want it to get out to everybody. You know, I wish I had a liquor license so I could just sell kits. That's kind of the dream. Already have it paired up, ready to go, mixing glass if you want it, and a syrup. That would just be a super cool thing. Again, making everything easy, but I think just like having everybody enjoy cocktails and knowing that it's easier than just the bars treating it is great.
That is awesome. So let's see. So we have 4 syrups here. Is that like your entire portfolio? Are they coming in and out, or do you have like a wider spread?
So right now everything kind of takes a little bit of time to make. So I'm doing 1 syrup per month. I'm also working at the bar, and I got promoted the second my website went up. So
Funny how that works.
You thought you had free
right.
time, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I could have done this 3 months ago when everybody was out of work, including myself, and I waited until I came back to start this, which is kind of funny. But it's the time right now. Trying to get everything perfect, because what I really want to do is a monthly syrup club where you sign up. It's a subscription based, and it just gets sent to you when I make it. Hopefully beginning of the month. I kind of shoot for the second week of every month, just because it works out the best. No actual reasoning behind it, but I think Q1, January coming around, I think I can get something where I feel very confident. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff to it: the labels, the syrups themselves, bottling it by hand. Just getting all that together would just be a little difficult. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good. Congrats on the promotion, by the way. That's awesome. But it is
man.
funny, like how life works like that. When you're like, oh, I finally can do this, and then right as you do it, something explodes, or you get a promotion, which is great.
Yeah.
But
or
so like
how on bourbon and it blows up.
I can see why, though. I mean, it's very good, and I've been putting together a bunch of cocktail stuff for a long time, and I haven't been able to post about any of them. But yeah, this is very comparable or better than the mass market syrups that are out there. And I know like other companies like Syrup are hand making it themselves, but it's kind of cool that syrup of the month, like always something new. Because like sometimes when I want a cocktail, like I know that I want a cocktail, but I don't know what I want. And so like me being like, well, here's my options. Like, let's make something happen. Like there's nights where I look at all my cocktail stuff and I'm like, I don't know what I want. And then I just like close the door and I walk away and I don't make anything.
Yeah, I don't feel like making a Manhattan. Let me just go get a pour of rye and call it good.
Yeah. So this is kind of nice. Like, I have 4 things. Like, what am I feeling? Like, and to be honest, like, I think it was the Cracker Jack. I had no idea what that was. This fancy, like, completely unlabeled. And I was like, I have no idea what that is. But after I made someone, I was like, oh, that's pretty good, So it's kind of cool to experiment. I don't know if you do like a mystery sometime. I bet that'd be a huge hit and see what people think it is. But
never even thought about it.
Man.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I was like, what are these people talking about Cracker Jack shit? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't have one called Cracker Jack. And then like right as we went live, I was like, oh, that's the unmarked bottle. Like now the notes are there, it lines up, like I got it. But
Michael Braun asked a question here that I think should tee you up pretty good, Dan. You're releasing this more today, correct?
I already released it. Yeah, as I was releasing it, I was getting orders. I don't know if people were lurking on my page, but yeah, it's already out. I put up another 30 apples because a lot of people were asking me about it. Those sold out in like an hour and a half.
Awesome.
And I hadn't told anybody. So I think the apple was pretty popular with everybody, and I'm glad everybody liked it. That one's amazing with rye. For those of you that do have it, I think just that pairing alone doesn't really even need anything else. But I've put it with like a little bit of grated cinnamon on it, and it's really good. But like I said, the s'mores, them out today, that went on sale at like 2 hours ago or so, and it's flying right now.
So everybody here that's in the chat is probably going to be on your website right now. By the time you get out of here, you're going to go check your email. It could be loaded up with new orders.
It keeps popping up. I'm getting orders every second. There's like 3 that just came
Perfect.
up right now, which is great.
Good.
It's great. It's a lot of work for tomorrow.
Yeah, man. We're
Pros
gonna
and
keep you
cons.
busy.
Not to
Yeah,
make
I
the
think
situation work, but for the uninitiated, if they wanted to find you, where would they find you?
right now I'm on danksyrups.com and then Instagram dank.syrups.
Awesome. We'll hit that again at the end, but
Yeah, I've
it
already
was
got a little banner built up for that.
good time to bring that in. Awesome.
Hey, look at that. Oh, right on it.
Don't worry, we'll get you at the end. We'll come back around circle to it, and we're gonna drive everybody there. So I want to talk a little bit about.
I saw somebody in the chat. Oh, sorry.
No, go right ahead.
You're fine. Go for it.
I just saw
We got all
somebody
sorts
in
of
the
things
in the chat talk about batch processing, and that's essentially what I have to do. Everything goes in this big, huge 36-quart turkey fryer, and that gets heated up. I put it in there a little thinner than I want. It gets heated up until I get it to the consistency, and then it gets bottled as quick as I can, as hot as I can, and all those bottles are steamed and ready to go. So it has to be batch processing just because there's so many different layers to just like temp and texture, even at the beginning of the bottling process to the end. Those first 2 bottles are going to be or the first bottle and the last bottle is going to be slightly different just in consistency. Nothing too big, but when I did the 200 bottles on this recent one, that was I like looked at them and one was a little thicker than the other.
So
Interesting.
Taylor Goody asked a question that I was going to dive into here. That kind of works nicely. What's next? So I mean, you've sent us something here that is not quite hitting your website yet. Something that you sent us just hit today, which is really good, by the way. I like that smoke you got in the graham cracker flavor comes through nicely
real
with the
smoky.
s'mores.
Yeah, thank you.
What's coming up next? I mean, what other ideas do you have baking? Do you want to talk about anything that's going to be coming in the pipeline, or
Sure.
do
Yeah.
you want to talk about maybe the mystery that you're going to now need to do because people think it's a cool idea?
So I think what I'm planning on doing definitely in November is going to be a cranberry syrup. I just think with fall and just the idea of Thanksgiving and so many people doing cranberry, that works out. And cranberry in cocktails is actually pretty good, and it doesn't happen too often because everybody thinks cranberry juice, vodka cranberry,
Right.
and so they just kind of negate it. And it's as a syrup, it's pretty good. You can kind of get away with it as in like a jam type thing. So I got to figure out a way to 100% not make it as jammy and make it a little more syrupy. And then the big plan, honestly, is a holiday 4-pack like you guys kind of got.
Nice.
For presents and stuff like that. My biggest thing right now is just figuring out pretty packaging. I do have those boxes, but they're not that great. So I think
that'll work. When you slap a sticker on those, you'll be good to go, man. I mean, the packaging was all secure and snug too, so that's a real big winner. Is just being able to get it to people without anything getting smashed up.
It's funny, people talking gravy in the chat, and here I was like, is he going to do a turkey one? Like, you got the turkey fryer and the turkey. Why not a turkey reduction? But
nice.
I think cranberry is the right call there.
I absolutely love rich cocktails. I think I just think that would be a bit too much.
That'd be a little too much umami. Like,
yeah.
You know what I like to do though with that Cracker Jack? Somebody in the Discord had mentioned, I think it was Chris Conforti told me, just a small pinch of sea salt on top of that. And that thing, man, it is damn good. That's about the only thing that you could do to it that makes it any better than it is right out of the bottle.
Yeah, he told me that too, and I felt really ashamed that he beat me to that. It's such a good addition to it, and it doesn't take anything away. But just that like slight saltiness on that first sip, and it just changes everything. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's insanely good. So, did you say you wanted to try to put together a cocktail for us here and just kind of walk people through this, or is that something that you want to hold on?
I can absolutely do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
we're gonna do two because I kind of have like a finale put up with the that one.
I'm good.
You're driving the ship, man. I'm just riding.
All right, cool. All right.
We're just on the bus for the ride.
Yeah, man. Dan's got his whole bar cart rigged up here. He's gonna twist up a cocktail for us. Anybody who's just joining in, we're here with Dan Kmieciak. He's running Dank Syrups, and he's putting together like these handmade crazy ass cocktail syrups that you just kind of twist up into your favorite old fashioned, or turn it into whatever you'd like to do with what you got going on. And right now he's gonna kind of walk us through one of these. Which episode is that you got there, Dan?
So this is going to be the episode 29. This is the rye whiskey. So we're going to be making the apple, the rye. We're going to be making the apple spice here. So these are all pretty simple. You can make old fashions with every single one of these syrups. That's kind of how I created it. That was the idea behind everything. So these are all going to be 2 ounces and then 1 bar spoon. If you get it right out of the fridge, it has a thicker consistency just because of the coolerness. And a lot of people were telling me that they needed 2 bar spoons. And, I don't want to argue with them using more stuff. But if you get it a little warm, just like hold it in your hand for a little bit, it actually flattens it out. And by what I mean by that is it really coats around all the whiskey instead of the ice. And so you get a lot more of that apple to it, a lot more of the flavors instead of just like sweetness. So I suggest keeping everything in the fridge once you open it, but then kind of letting it sit out and just get slightly to room temperature.
That is, in fact, a massive bar spoon.
I think I'm just a little guy, but thank you.
Very well played.
So we're just gonna dilute it. This one's kind of a high proof. I think this one's this is 110. This is right around the cusp of what I want to make cocktails with. I know a lot of people, at least old fashions. I like to kind of keep it a little lower so you get a lot of the flavors because heat can come out very high proof and stuff like that. 110s I kind of found is right at like the highest amount. Plus this one has like a lot of pears. This just has like all those like fruity flavors to it. And so we're just going to go until the glass gets like my hands chilly. And that's how I find that it's good. Put that back. Got a Chicago Bears one.
Naturally.
Sorry, Jay.
Ooh. I got opinions on that, but I'll keep them to myself.
That was a significant oof as well.
Oh, I thought we were friends. No,
just outside of football season. So I got like a nice little cube right there. Now I like to do like, when I'm making cocktails, I like to have cubes that have more or have less surface area. So spheres work too. And spheres work as well. But I find that the cubes are just easier. That's all. And that's it. Just pour it straight in and good to go. Yeah, I get a lot of apple, a lot of the pear that comes out of this. That's good. Needs one thing though. There you go. Grab this. Now just add some fall flavors to it. Just gonna grate some cinnamon right over the top.
Oh, there we go.
That's it. Nothing crazy. I have torched it before and used that as like a stirring spoon, but this is gonna be good. Yeah, right there. So with the addition of the cinnamon, it doesn't overpower, but it brings out a lot of like that, just that nose, because you do smell a lot, you do taste a lot with your nose. and I think people kind of forget about that. So you might not taste the cinnamon, but you're going to get it off on that nose in the beginning of the palate, and it's just great.
I'm going to go ahead and snag one of those other syrups and twist one of these up too. You got me all excited to have one.
Yeah, and I think that one's just really good. So what I did with that, just a bunch of apples.
Okay.
I dehydrate most of my fruit, most of my stuff when I put it in there.
Oh, interesting.
There's a lot of water in it, and I want it to get down to the bare flavors. So dehydrating or freeze drying tends to work best for me.
Okay, so that
for consistency.
You freeze dry before you cook it down, or walk me through this a little bit as a total non-cocktail guy.
So what I would do at work, since we're making like huge amounts, I'd buy something. Here, I went out and I got a dehydrator, and I dehydrated apples for a whole day.
Nice.
And then I added that to my sugars. I did like a little test, like a test run, wrote everything down in a little notebook, and it was almost perfect that first time. It just needed a little more Demerara sugar because I was trying to get it a little lighter. And then when I added the Demerara, it kind of brought up more the sweetness to it, and it was just fantastic. I really, really enjoy this one, and I'm not a big apple guy. I just know I had a big request for it. Yeah.
I think you would have probably been slain if you had done an apple one for the fall.
I thought I was going to get slain for not doing a pumpkin spice one.
That one's a little bit more divisive. You might find that you have a lot of support on that.
That's a 50-50, yeah.
All right, so I just twisted up the Grandma's OG of syrup.
Oh, yeah. So, all right, so this came in as a question, but I'm curious as well. Typically, and my assumption is that like these are mostly meant for like whiskey forward cocktails. Are you A, how wrong am I? And B, if you're planning most of these to be like whiskey, rye, you know, maybe a little bit of scotch here and there, do you have any intention to like branch into other spirits like you know, tiki one is a big one, like some rum forward cocktails, or maybe some of the agaves, or even some gin cocktails and stuff? Is that on the horizon, or are you pretty much sticking to kind of whiskey things until you really get a big batch going?
I'm finding my niche is whiskey people. So I'm kind of sticking with that. The apple works really well in everything though.
Oh, really? I've
used it as like as a syrup to a gin fizz, and that was really good. The s'mores one kind of has to have that bourbon power to it. Sorry, I just saw my brothers up there.
I only put it out because I knew that you'd love it.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. And then tiki is actually something that I'm trying to aggressively study. I'm not very good at tiki except for drinking it.
Okay.
Very good at drinking tiki.
Step one.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in tiki drinks that I'm missing just from there's so many flavor profiles in that. You can't really, at least me personally, I can't really decipher what's in it just from tasting it.
Okay.
So I really need to go to a tiki bar and learn from there. But at this point, I'm running out of time just for life. So I don't have too much time to go and learn it. But that is a plan of mine just because I love it and I got to learn how to make it too.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, like tiki's its own universe. I was just kind of curious because, like, I mean, I cheated. Like, my final one is made with brandy, but brandy's super whiskey adjacent.
That's it. Get out.
I mean, I was like, this would be a great old fashioned. So then I reached for some brandy and then realized that maybe I'd committed a sin or something.
No. I still, I know a lot of people have hate for the brandy old fashioned, but they just haven't been to Wisconsin and understood what a supper club is. I'm not saying it's the greatest drink ever. I'm not even saying that remotely close, but it's just something else, and I wish they just had different names.
It's a
That's all
viable
it
option,
is.
I guess.
Yeah, I think if they named it something like very Wisconsinite, it would have been just fine.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, given Northwood's little accent on the old fashioned, and that's how you order it.
Call it the tackle box or something.
But I mean, we still in Chicago, we get people that order brandy old fashions, and a lot of bartenders turn their nose up to it, and I don't think that's fair. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of it myself, but you know, I don't. They're drinking it, they're paying for it. I've made margaritas with $150 cognacs, per pour, and I haven't felt bad about doing that at all. That's what they want. They have the money for it. It's all up to them.
Sure.
I think a lot of people have this like stigma of, if I don't like it, it's not good. And I think everybody needs to give other people options, because, you show them what your old fashioned is going to be. And maybe, it's going to be stronger than that old fashioned that's topped with soda or Sprite or whatever lemon juice they want to put in there. But it's going to bring somebody over. Instead of you sounding pretentious, it's going to sound like, hey, check this out instead. It's a lot easier to make too.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day too, I think some people they're like, oh, this bottle's too good to be used for a cocktail. But I think the best cocktail I ever had was a George T. Stagg sour. Oh. And like one and only one of those, because I mean, it's expensive. I mean, it was great, but I mean, it's good bourbon to begin with. So I think, good ingredients make a good cocktail. And it sounds like, if you're going out and picking your own apples and dehydrating them, your syrups are based on that methodology as well.
Methodology of being a fucking legend.
John, you need one more cocktail. I'm loving this, man.
I only got 3 glasses, man. Sorry.
No,
you about Grandma's OG though.
Grandma's OG. That's just a regular old. I just thought it'd be funny to put Grandma's OG. My grandma never taught me how to make it or anything.
Oh,
I just thought I was like,
I was hoping
there's got to be a
story.
No, I wish. No.
It tastes good as hell, though. You said that there's bitters in that, though, already, correct?
Correct. Yep. Got a little bit of Angostura, but I didn't have any bittering ingredients besides cocoa nibs at the time when I was making it, because I was making the s'more syrup at the same time too, so I was kind of limited. So that one actually has that one I hit on, but you can't go wrong with Angostura. It's so good. It makes cocktails. The only thing is, like, I can't ship that because it has alcohol in it. Everything else that you guys get, non-alcoholic. I don't think anybody's coming for me. I don't think anybody's coming for me on that, but it's just a kind of a concern on my point.
Yep,
I bet
that makes sense.
Legally, bitters are considered a food product.
Yeah, you can buy them from Amazon.
So you might. We'll speak to our lawyers, and our lawyers will talk to your lawyers, and then how that goes. But
I need a couple lawyers.
Well, what you got is a couple of jackoffs in suits.
I stole the suit from my lawyer, actually.
Yeah, there you go.
Shirtless right now. But
so, did I get the right one there? Yeah, Hokie wanted to know if there was anything that you tried to put together that just came out as kind of a flop that didn't quite do it for you and didn't meet the standards that you're trying to put together. Did we lose him?
Oh no, the Bears got his internet. Oh yeah,
it was nice knowing Dan. We'll have to put together a funeral service for him. This was a great time.
He's using the Bears internet. Anyways, so while we wait for Dan to reconnect here, I went ahead. I made What did I use? No, I used the Grandma's OG to make a brandy old fashioned, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I threw that together with the Woodford Reserve, and that's not something that I really reach for that often, but when I'm making a cocktail every now and then I want to try it with Woodford. I mean, also I opened up one of the Derby bottles, so I felt like I had to do something cool with it, and as part of trying to do something cool, I decided to throw it into the Grandma's OG. It just seemed like it fit.
Oh yeah, how are those? I mean, so we're getting kind of away from it, but it's fine because our cocktail guy he'll be back, I'm sure. But how are the Derby bottles? Because I have not had I don't think I've had a single one.
It's good. I don't think it's any different than standard Woodford, is it?
I don't think that it is actually.
It's a.
I thought it was like one
Decorative
proof
one.
point higher. It was
It
like
might be. It comes in a liter size bottle too, which is nice.
okay.
Snag you one if you want. I think there's still one or two kicking around my shop here. Then you can have a nice decorative piece for your new home.
Yeah. I'll put it in like the bathroom or something.
It seems like an appropriate spot for the Derby to occur.
The Derby bottle.
Yep. Different
Okay.
label.
Same
Yeah,
juice.
so- yeah,
All right.
that makes sense.
That explains why I have not bothered.
Yeah, I think we only end up seeing like 6 or 12 of them come into my area anyway.
Okay.
Looks like we got our buddy Dan joining us back in here.
There
ready
we
to
go.
party now.
He's hopped on the Packers internet. He's back.
Yeah, he's back with the pack now, and he's got a blowtorch.
Just gotta
Yeah.
change up my speakers.
Nah, you're good.
Ooh,
Ooh, smooth jazz.
Do like smooth jazz.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know how that happened.
Nah, it's fine. I mean, we've had guests before on worse connections, so you're good.
Sure. So let's talk about the grand
It's
finale
funny because my
cocktail that you
fiance,
wanted to throw
her
together.
still was working doing it.
Was her stuff still working? Oh no.
She was still able to watch us, and I got cut out, taking all my hand.
Is she yelling at you that you got cut off the stream?
All right, so I hear rumors of a grand finale, and I'm like 80% excited and 20% scared. So what do we got? What do we got rolling in for finale land? Besides the blowtorch.
Hold on, I can't. So the blowtorch, that's essentially it. I really want to show off the s'mores.
Yeah, hit it.
There's no better way than kind of getting freaky with the blowtorch, you know?
It sounds like we're getting lit if my preteen cousins have taught me anything.
Is that the cool thing to say? Because I definitely don't know that.
I think if you set something on fire, we are lit.
You get a cabinet full of booze and a blowtorch. It doesn't get a whole lot cooler than that.
I know he's got overproof rum in there somewhere too, so we got a fire on our hands.
Yeah, we do like to get weird.
I made sure that all of these smoke detectors were away, and I also have the door open right next to me, so we should be good. If you guys are ready for another drink, I can make that.
Hit it.
Let's do that.
I'm ready. I just poured my old fashioned, so I'm good to go.
All right. Cool. Make sure to move the mic. All right.
Anybody just jumping in? Oh, there we go. Little Pursuit series. Anybody just jumping in? We got Dan here from Dank Syrups. Going to twist up a grand finale style cocktail. He just threw all of that on the floor, and this man has no regard for safety. He is not wearing shoes. He could go down while using the torch. Everybody be ready. We have 911 already queued up.
I was smart. I got my slap bucket.
Course Marshal Dan is standing by.
So we're going to go with another bar spoon of the s'mores syrup. And by another, I mean we've been doing a bar spoon with everything. Again, just goes really well with everything. And then this one, I'm going to use the Old Tub. It's actually probably my favorite bourbon right now. This is like my third or fourth bottle. And they're allocating me, so I don't know why they're doing that. I think they think I'm selling it for an extra $5 on secondary. I don't know.
Makes sense.
But we're just going to go with 2 ounces of the Old Tub, a little bit of Jim Beam right there. And by the way, Jim Beam, you're doing a great job with this. Thank you.
Dude, the tub rocks.
We like the tub.
Yeah.
We enjoy getting into the tub. Jay and I have been into the tub together.
Yeah, repeatedly.
And you guys are a couple states over, so I mean that sounds like something you have to do at a Motel 6.
Yeah, you do. You have to pay ahead of time too, cash.
We meet in Michigan.
Yeah, anything goes in Michigan.
Again, we're just gonna add some ice.
Okay.
We're gonna add some ice and dilute this We're going to get this to the temperature that we want, and that's when your hand gets a little super chilly. I always keep my hand like this when I'm even mixing at work, unless I'm doing 2 at a time. I just think if you kind of feel it and everything like that, you really get some consistency on your drinks. That's perfect. Go. Just gonna pour that over the top. Again, guys, use fresh ice. This ice is super diluted. Even if you're using like really fancy ice like I'm using for this, it's going to be extra diluted and it's gonna stay diluted. This is fresh ice. It hasn't been chilled or warmed or anything like that, so it's good to go.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Katie, sorry. I know she's in the room. She's probably pissed about this. There we go.
This man is on fire right now.
Now we're just going to get this golden. I know a lot of people like it black as I'm burning it. I don't really want that burn because that adds like if you guys look at your syrup, it has a little bit of browning in it that wasn't strained out. I did double strain everything, but you want to add a little bit of that carbon flavor to it because it really brings out smokiness.
Oh man.
There we go. So you can see right there, got a nice brown. That's right where I want to do it. That's a little too much right there, but this one's good. So I'm going to make it really nice. Put it right there. You guys will never even know. It's like I never even told you.
Look at that.
Cocktail right there.
Beauty.
This man has no regard for his own personal safety, throwing ice on the floor, using fire in his home just to make you glorious fucking cocktails. You're welcome.
Man, I can smell it from here. I'm like through the screen.
Yeah. I mean, toasting it's completely unnecessary, but it's a lot of fun. And it does bring that element again back to the nose. I think a lot of people like to make their garnishes, make their drink look pretty. But what a garnish is supposed to be is bringing out the nose and bringing out some extra flavors and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with a flower on a tiki drink, but you really should bring out a lot of your cocktails that way.
You could just add a mini torch to the subscription, right?
Yeah. Extra, Kenny, that's an extra $150 or so.
All right, box of matches then.
Perfect.
The Dank Matchbook.
Dankmatches.com. It's also a dating service.
Now I'm going to have to go and register that domain too.
Yeah. I'm going to go buy it up real quick. I'll sell it over to you. Don't worry, man. It'll be fine.
There you go.
No snipes there.
Right.
Oh, man.
So let's
got my little goose right here.
Open a little Q&A here. Let the chat tear it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
Got anything that they need to know?
Yeah, before questions come too, I know I saw a lot of my high school buddies and a lot of people that I went to college with. Thanks, guys, for coming on. I don't know. I can't really see how many people are on here. But
7,000.
7,000. Wow, that's crazy. I don't even know that many people.
We don't either. So
if you guys are still on, thank you. If you're rewatching it, thanks as well. I really appreciate it. I've had a lot of support from my friends and family and stuff like that. I know, again, like going back to the social media, I posted on my personal Facebook on accident because I don't know how to do Facebook and Instagram too well. And as soon as I post that up, I sold out of my apple syrup in like 10 minutes. So I just want to thank all of them. It was incredible and completely unintentional. So thanks, everybody.
First,
it's great to have you.
Question popping up here is the gift set you were talking about, the multi-bottles. bundling 3 or 4 together. Are you going to have those ready to roll at Christmas time?
That's my plan. And actually before Christmas, because I don't want to be putting it out the 15th, and let's hope USPS figures it out.
You also
that's
don't
going to
want to be
be
making it that either.
Right. And I'm going to do 4 on that. So I'm going to be probably renting out a kitchen for a couple overnights for that.
That'll be crazy, man.
Oh man.
Kenny wants you to know, if you don't make a marzipan syrup, then this is awful.
Well, I didn't know Fred had their login. I thought that was just Kenny and maybe Ryan.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know. I don't know how to use marzipan. Margarita syrup. Here's the thing, guys. Sugar's not supposed to go in a margarita, so you're never getting that.
Bam.
Thank you.
Yeah. No. And I know it's Kenny. I just thought it'd be funny to say that, Kenny. Yeah. For those of you that do margaritas, use a good triple sec. Cointreau is amazing.
Cointreau, Grand Marnier, man. That's the only way.
I think Grand Marnier is a little bit on the syrupy side, so I tend to stay away from it, but it's still fantastic. That's a great sipper. But Cointreau, by and far, there's nothing close to it.
Absolutely.
Use that in lieu of sugar, and you're going to have the best margarita you've ever had. That's my secret. I tell everybody that I make a really great margarita, and that's it. Like I just gave away my whole secret, but yeah, don't use sugar.
Use Cointreau. Call it a day.
Yeah. Even agave, I mean, I don't think you need any sweetener to it, honestly. And if we want to start talking some cocktails, everything's kind of based around the same thing. So that's a margarita is just a sour with tequila. I mean, you think about it, and you just use Cointreau instead of sugar. It's kind of crazy how every single cocktail, every classic cocktail, all comes from the same type of family tree. Everything kind of has the same build, and you just add or take away from everything. So that took me a while to learn. At 21, I started bartending because that was legal in Illinois. But it took me a long time to figure out and memorize all these drinks. And once I figured out, holy cow, they're actually pretty similar. I just have to use my brain. It was pretty easy. All right, got more questions after that rant?
No, it's good.
No, that's not a rant. That's exactly the right answer. I was just too busy drinking.
And we have a lot of people volunteering to come help you in the kitchen. So
yeah, it sounds like you could fill up a rented kitchen.
You
there
got some
and
elves.
have some pretty good labor.
Yeah,
3 offers.
Everybody's been really nice too, even at home. My fiance, my sister-in-law, she was in town just this weekend, and she helped me finish all the last of the bottles. So Katrina, I've seen you on this. Thank you for that. I have so much help and support from everybody, not just in the chat, but like everywhere. And it's kind of unbelievable. From the bourbon group to talk me into doing this, and then people helping me with the Instagram, with the website. I think it's just crazy. This isn't just me, and I kind of hear that all the time. I kind of hear that all the time, where like this is a group thing, and I kind of get it now. Like starting a business is, holy cow, you need some help.
Sure. So let's take a quick step back here, and we kind of dove into the cocktails because that was obviously what we wanted to do. But let's go back to like kind of the beginning, like what got you into bartending and how you. You've stuck it out, made a career out of this, which is definitely a cutthroat business, especially in these days. So, kind of walk us through where you began with that and what kind of brought you to where you are.
Yeah, it is. It is really cutthroat now, and it's kind of strange because I first started. I was 17 years old, and my neighbor was opening up a wine and martini bar in our town, and he said, "Hey, we have it's our opening day. Need somebody to bus. Can you come in?" I said, "Sure." It was a Thursday in 2005 or 6. It was 2006, and I was 17 years old, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll come help. That's fine. I'm not doing anything. And I went and did that and did a good job. And he said, all right, I'll see you tomorrow at 5. And turned around, and I was too afraid to just be like, no, I hated this. I didn't want to do it. And then from there, I started, they threw me in the kitchen too. I've been all over the place when it comes to restaurants. And since I was everywhere, I asked him, as soon as I turned 21, can you train me how to bartend? And the day after my 21st birthday, he was nice enough to let me start training. I didn't have any shifts, but I got to pick up, and it was something else. And that was at the Wine and Martini bar too. And then when I was away in college, I worked at a beer and a shop place to help pay for schooling. I actually went to school for math. Everybody kind of gets surprised, but
no, that's
and then came back home. Yeah, came back home and started working back at that Wine and Martini place and worked my way up to GM, and then came into the city because of a girl, and now we're together and I'm working at a bar, and yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, that's like the cute way to put it, but I worked everywhere, including in the kitchen. I've done everything but executive chef, and it's been crazy how much you learn just in restaurants. It's hands-on stuff. They didn't care that I have a math degree. They still don't care that I have a math degree. It's like, oh, can you make a drink? Can you not cry on a 12-hour shift where we're just getting our head in the weeds all day? And that's kind of the fun thing about the industry, but also kind of like the hard thing. So I kind of just stuck it out because I felt like every day brought a new thing,
Well, from one guy that likes math to another guy that likes math, I appreciate that you have a math degree.
You would.
That's cool.
Yeah, there we go.
More people need math degrees, and also know how to make good cocktails.
Yes, good combination of things, I'd say. But Jay, what do you say we start bringing this thing in here? Coming up on the top of the hour.
Yeah. So Dan, it's been awesome to have you here. Like I said, I was rocking the s'mores earlier tonight, rocking a Wisco old fashioned without the weird shit on top, with the OGs tonight. So where can we find you? I know we've been talking to people. People have been coming in and out of the chat. If people want more dank drank, I guess.
If they want a dank, they're drank.
There we go. There's the line. Where can they find you, man?
So I'm on Instagram at dank.syrups.com or dank.syrups, and then I also have a website, danksyrups.com. I'm working on all the other stuff, but those are the best places to go. Okay. You can drop a line on Instagram. I pretty much answer it right away. I've answered quite a few people. There's also an email that takes a little bit longer for me to get because it doesn't go straight to my phone immediately. But I will answer that within a day as well.
Oh, great. Well, I, for one, am a fan. It's been awesome to have you. Thank you so much for your time tonight and for your double cocktail demos. It's been great to have you. I will raise a drink to that one.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for having me. Sorry about the little internet.
Oh, dude, it's the internet. Everyone's had internet problems in 2020.
The fuck is the internet?
Let's be real here. But I mean, don't be a stranger. We'll have you on again. Maybe we'll talk about some spring cocktails or something.
Yeah, that sounds great.
If we survive the holidays. If you guys are looking for more from me, I'm Jay of Take That Review. You can find me on Instagram, on my website. We talked a little bit about the bourbon selections for our bourbon earlier. Penelope's good to go. Russell's is almost there. We've got Knob Creek and Smooth Ambler as well. So be looking out for those updates. And I think that's it. I've been rocking some good cocktails tonight myself. So John, why don't you take us home?
Very good, guys. Hey, Dan, thanks again. This is great, man. Appreciate you sending this stuff over to us, hooking us up with some of the super top secret grandma's recipe that wasn't actually your grandma's. This is great stuff, guys. Make sure you check out Dan's stuff. Remember, the s'mores did just come out today, so if you need to get some of that, get on danksyrups.com, pick some of that up. I'm John, the Bourbon Finder. You can find me at TheBourbonFinder.com. Thank you for joining us here on Weekly Whiskey, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Hell yeah. See ya.
Bye, guys.
And a hell yeah.